Hi guys, Bolt here once again with more Steel Division 2 replay commentaries. Today I want to show a breakthrough game where we thought outside of the box and completely took the enemy by surprise. And what I mean by this is the way that these games are usually played. The way that any Steel Division 2 game is played. Everyone usually goes for a nicely balanced defended front line, and the attackers usually go for a nicely balanced attack. And this is the same for regular conquest or close quarters. It's just, you know, knuckle to knuckle basically. It's just a head-to-head battle every time, and it usually just turns out to a grind. I'm here to tell you guys otherwise and how you should actually play this game. And I do have some tutorials out for this game as well. Most of them just cover the basics, but there are a few specific ones like how to set up defenses and such. And there's also one, or will be one, that details how to attack or how to do a breakthrough. And there's also a few matches that I did where we had a really nice strategy in breakthrough or just even regular conquest. Anyway, so I'm playing here today with Elmox, Helljumper, and Pius. So what we have is Helljumper on the left, we have Elmox on the right side with like a skeleton crew for the town, and the plan here is to defend the far flanks, be a little bit more aggressive in like the mid left and the mid right, and then do a spearhead through the middle. And normally you would think, oh, we're just going to do a spearhead through this place, right? Well, that is not the case. We're actually going to just completely evade this, because I can guarantee you that the enemy put, I mean, that is quite literally 80% of all of his troops on the hill. So why would you attack the hill? There's literally no reason to attack the hill. We're just going to go around it, you know, as everyone else in the history of battles would do. So, yeah, we're playing as the Soviets, as you can see, and what I have here is T-34-76s, quite a lot of them, and 2 T-34-85s, and what Pius has is a lot more tanks, basically. He kind of has a similar loadout to me. We actually have the same deck here. So I have one Katyusha, I have some CSUs, some AA, and I also have some mortars ready to basically smoke off or HE the enemy positions, and some more mortars over here. We have once again another Katyusha on the right and some more mortars, and what Elmox has on the right side is another group of armor, a little bit different. He has some Valentines this time, and he's going to try to take the hill on the right side there. Those exactly marked right there. And we have Helljumper on the left with what looks like some more T-34-85s and Su-85 tank destroyers and some infantry pushing up to the left, and some defensive troops for the left like recon and AT guns and, you know, some infantry just to hold. So yeah, very exciting. So the strategy here is the same as always. First we recon it out. So we have these recon planes that are just going to scout out the entire front line. I have some mortars that are just going to be HEing hill positions that people would usually put like AT guns and such. So I have a few of these guys basically going for HE runs here and there at the tree lines. So we spot our first targets. Nothing too spectacular as of yet. Fuel explosion there, so definitely an AT gun somewhere that is pinning these guys down. So the enemy does scramble 2 fighters, ME-109 E4s. Yep, there you go. PAC-37 spotted and already halfway stunned. Elmox and Hell quickly scramble some planes and it makes those 109s evacuate. So the Tiger E and basically the Panzer IV-Hs are taking down Helljumper's units here quite a bit. So that is one exactly good reason of why you should not attack the hill like that. That is just going to get you pinned down. They have a good vantage point there. So Mortar 1 destroyed by my blob of tanks after we spotted with the recon plane, and we also spot all of these PAC-37s and MG-42 bunkers over there. And if we didn't use this, we wouldn't have been able to see that, and he would have taken out 1 or 2 of our tanks. So we quickly smoke off that region, enabling Helljumper to fall back and reinforce his flank a little bit more. And yeah, things are going good. So what the strategy here is, Pius is just going to force its way through, while I then am more precise, I guess. So he's just going to fast move through this, and what I'm going for is try to quickly snipe whatever he's firing at as well, but with a more stabilized shot. So Katyusha opens up on the left side here to dislodge these tanks. And that is basically already out of ammo, but we quickly have a resupply truck there and there. So that should be taken care of. MG-42 bunker spotted. The Gas Maxim AAs are taking the lead, pinning that down immediately with all of the machine guns there, and the tanks are basically just straddling it a little bit. So these bunkers are completely useless at this point. They can only fire to the right side, and that's not what we're pushing. We're just pushing on the left. So perfect. I'm bringing up some infantry to then secure the left and right flank of Pius since he's doing the spearhead. So I have some Guardia DPs and some Aftomachikis moving up to take the hill, which is a very important point to take. So with this push, what the enemy is actually doing is falling back with their tanks from the hill to engage these guys, enabling Helljumper to then quickly move up his T-34s freely. He does not have any tanks on the hill left, so yeah, Hell is good to go. And he's actually picking off some of that infantry. So this recon is probably going to die, but that's no surprise there. So T-34-85s and 76s are just gonna keep fast moving through it here. What I'm going for now is, since he is keeping him busy and since he's stunned, I'm going to try to move up my T-34-76s, the weaker tanks, closer to these Tigers and Panthers, or Panzer. Yeah, since, you know, then I get that kinetic round bonus, and my T-34-85s are in the rear, going for a more sniping approach. So Elmax's units are a little bit pinned down, but he's calling out some IS-2s to then deal with all of these PaK-37s a little bit better. We have some fighters that are coming out. And in quick succession, we quickly managed to pin down that Flak 38. Fighters are coming in and actually really stressing out that Panther D, making the enemy also scramble some planes, but that's way too late. So my T-34-76s are in position. They're quickly taking out that Flak 38, and I'm just attack moving them to take out these tanks over here, which are really stunned. And my T-34-85s are just straddling in the back there. And there goes that loader of that tank, ammo explosion. Infantry is cleaning up the hill over here, as you can see. So that is going pretty good as well. Meanwhile, all these tanks, since they're stunned, they're a little bit more safe, because these tanks are probably going to be engaging my T-34s. So both of them are pretty much panicked at the moment. And yeah, we're just picking them off at this point, which is quite painful to see, I guess. So as you can see, just from this alone, we have spearheaded the middle, that made them fall back here, that enabled Hell to then move up on his flank. And this is also enabling Elmax to help out a little bit in the middle here with his units, and he's more of an air support guy here with all of the A-20s that you can call out. So infantry is cleaning up the hilltop, which enables my tanks to move up a little bit. It gives me a reassurance that there isn't much here on this hill. So we take out that last Panther D, big blow to the enemy's capabilities. But in the meantime, Killer is moving up some T-34-42s from their spawn, some captured Russian tanks. But they're not going to be too big of a problem. We're calling out some more T-34s, 76s and 85s in the back, and the Katyushas are moving up to the front. Something that we shouldn't forget about is all of the fire support that we have. Yeah, it's going pretty good so far, and this is definitely how Breakthrough should be, because if we go back to neutral, a lot of resources have been focused there, a lot of resources have been focused into the town, and we just completely ignored all of those places where people usually go and defend. There's no use. Why would you attack somewhere that you know is going to be defended? It's just going to be down to, you know, RNG or knowing exactly where to put that AT gun. This is how you should play this game. I'm not saying you should just rush the enemy, but just attack where the enemy isn't. You know, that's like rule number 1 when fighting a war. Or is it 2? I don't know. So, since these guys are a little bit panicked, we decide to just fast move our tanks through, and with these IL-2s, one of them is actually taken out, the rest is getting really stressed out. So I'm moving these weaker T-34-76s up to try to deal with those, while the more heavier 85s are in the rear, cleaning out these bunkers a little bit. And at this point as well, since we have the flank and we have the reinforcement here taken care of, since they cannot basically move any more units in here, what I go for is I've cleaned up the forest, and Pius at the moment is encircling a blob over here. I think holds like a few infantry units, but they're, you know, pretty much useless at this point. So we decide to call out all of the infantry that we can to sweep this entire hill. So I'm moving up my infantry to the edge, and we notice these entrenched units, and that is the cue for Pius to then move up his blob of infantry, while I call out some more on my side. So we have some Tiger E's engaging our T-34-85s at maximum distance, which is really painful to see actually. I quickly smoke off whatever was over here. That's a Panther, I believe, or a few of them. And this is where it kind of goes downhill for my tanks. We've done more than enough though. We've definitely done more than enough. So now it is time to attack somewhere else. That's also another thing to remind or remember. When you do an attack like this, don't get bogged down in that attack. Be flexible and attack somewhere else as soon as they kind of, you know, counter your push. Which is exactly what this train of infantry is meant to do. So all of the Guardias and yeah, DPs and Aftermachikis are just trying to dislodge these Ersatztruppen, which are in trenches. Really good units to actually use in trenches, since they're one, really cheap, and since the trench really gives them a big, you know, entrenchment bonus, no pun intended. So we have some A20s stunning and killing some people over there, enabling our tanks to fall back a little bit, since we're now getting pincer moved by captured T-34s on the right and Tigers on the left. But the hill is going to be ours. So at the moment, we still need 4 more positions to actually 5 more conquest points to deal with this. To actually win the game. The flank on the left, completely open. The flank on the right, completely undefended. Middle is where it's at. I mean, this is just nuts. Look at the train of stuff just ranging in. That is just unbelievable. So yeah, these guys are getting just their asses whooped, pretty much. Yeah, it's not looking great. Fresh infantry train coming in. Starting to dislodge these Ersatztruppen finally. Aftermachikis, Guardia DPs, yeah, these guys are done for. So yeah, that concludes the hill. So since I've taken the right side, Pi has quickly moved his units to the left, and he's just rushing it with Guardias. Really cheap units, cheap infantry, and yeah, that's enabling him to take that over. So if we quickly jump over to neutral mode, absolutely nothing there. Why? Because no one pushed that side. Or no one pushes that side in 99 out of 100 games. Once again, go for the unexpected. Let's just hide that panel for now, shall we? So T-34-76 is engaging a bunker MG. We have some Aftermachikis taking out some Ersatztruppen. All of the Guardias ever with their PPS agents and Mosin the Guns are just going to clean up house over there. In the meantime, we have some AA from Helljumper that is just going to be positioned pretty much at the base of the middle hill here. So, what is going on the rest? So we've just started Phase B. We have some IS-2s still going ham on all of these defenses. We have LMOX now securing this force, since we've pretty much fallen back from that push, since they just called out all of their tanks over on the right. But now all of those tanks are useless. Yeah, this is just amazingly fun, that's for sure. Look at that. Tanks giving some beautiful cover while the infantry moves across. They do have some good AA at this point though, which is a little bit worrying, and by the looks of it, they're trying to now push where we are defended, which once again does not make sense. Yeah, a lot of units did get pinned down though from either artillery or bombing runs, not quite sure what. So left flank completely fallen, but you know, the fear of not knowing what the enemy has is stopping the enemy from pushing, and also because we have all of their attention focusing on the middle push that we have going on here. So our AA net is pretty strong. We have at least 4 of these 37 mils just going ham on all of these planes, and we have a lot of fighters as well. So let's see what we're bringing out. Some more T-34-85s, Su-85s, which are just going to be positioned on top of the hill to then snipe away at these tanks. We also have some more T-34-85s and IS-2s spawning from the base. And by the looks of it, they're slowly pushing up a little bit on the far right sides. But nothing spectacular as of yet. We're trying to counter us on the hill by the looks of it. Some Ersatztruppen charging up there with the help of some grills and tanks as fire support. But luckily we have immense amount of numbers, so that's not really going to do too much. A quick peek by the Aftomachiki to spot what the enemy has. And we're not even in neutral mode, but we can see everything. Just mainly, literally just because we have this middle hill. So powerful. Yeah, tanks are just waiting. We're not doing anything just yet. We're just calling out some more IS-2s on the right side, since Elmax is more IS-2 based and I'm more T-3485 based up until phase C. What we have on the left though is Helljumper's armor and Pius's armor coming out, some more T-3485s to then push where we haven't pushed all game. So this is a third kind of like second bog down, so this is not really going anywhere. They've now reinforced this. What should we do? Push somewhere else. That's right. So we have T-3485s moving left, we have Pius's T-3485s moving left, we have Helljumper's infantry train going left, and I have called out some tanks on the left side as well, and I'm also moving up all of my tanks from here to the left side to help with this new push. So we have some more recon to scout out what they have over here. And as previously mentioned, they don't basically have anything on the left flank because no one protects it. A-20s, probably one of my favorite units right now. Really well armored. Really, really well armored, that's for sure. Yeah, the amount of stuff over there is just insane. But we're not spotting anything on the left. So the Su-85s from Hell have engaged two Tigerese out in the open. The forest here is getting pummeled quite a bit, so we're kind of forced to move out and not attack move, but just move. Q move is your enemy in Breakthrough. It really is, unless you need to kill something like 5 days ago. That's when you do Q move. Otherwise you just charge in there and just get it. Okay. Yeah, still no pushes on the far right, no pushes on the far left. They're just mentally busy with this blob here. I mean, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Ooh, 88 mil spotted over there. That is a tasty target. Not gonna lie. Guys, this is just amazing. Hold up. I mean, look at this. What is that about? What is that about? That just looks beautiful. That is so cinematic. This game definitely did wonders when it comes to like making it possible for cinematic shots like these. Yeah, that is beautiful. Here we go. I got a bit sidetracked there. Okay, so what do we have going on? So more T-3485s just charging up to the front. We have a lot of tanks just waiting. So what we're doing now is actually we're holding an attack. We're waiting for a specific time. I think we're waiting for minute 4 of phase B, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but we're waiting for a time point, and after that we're just going to do a full-blown attack. We're regrouping at the moment. So we have another fresh infantry line that is just going to be focusing on the forest on the left side. We're just going to plow these through it. And the idea is that anything that does get spotted is just going to be taken out by the T-3485s. So, with that said, my T-3485s have reached the front line, mortars are moving up, and we have the reinforcements still coming in from the rear. So my job here is to start engaging these Tigerese that are out in the open here. in a second. Yeah, everything here is just getting smashed. That Pack 43 is still up and running though. That is probably the scariest thing that we have on the left. So with 16 minutes left on the clock, we hold 9 conquest points versus their 17. So we need to get 4 more conquest points. And one of them is really close on the left. This one is fairly easy to take as well. We are holding the hill positions. This is not going to go anywhere, and they're not going to be able to take it. Like, I can guarantee you this. This is just a bottleneck, you know, that is destined. You know, it's just a doom. Let's not go there. So planes coming in, A20s moving in to stun these tanks over here. Doing a really good job actually. The splash damage of these A20s is insane. So with that, I am good to go. So very good coordination is also key in this game, obviously. Some more Panzer Grenadiers on the hill that want to die by the looks of it. Yeah, it's just bouncing all the shots. We're losing tanks left and right, but that's quite alright. Quoted by Stalin. There we go. Armor cracked on their recon. Tigeries are heavily panicked. They're just falling back. Left side has completely broken open. We have infantry that just forced their way onto this conquest point. And we have just a fresh supply of fire support vehicles that are just charging through the front line here. It's just absolutely crazy. But it works. That's all you need to know, really. It works wonders. They're mainly just to, you know, panic the enemy a little bit. It's not going to actually hold that flank down. So more T-34s are spawning in on the far left here. Since we just noticed that their far left flank does not have absolutely anything. And now we're holding 12 conquest points and they're holding 14. And now it's even. That's how fast it can really turn in breakthrough. Meanwhile, enemies being useless with their tanks. Like, what is this about? If they pushed over here, they would have broken through quite a bit. Or even if they just charged up on the right side, they would have been able to take that over. But, yeah, they were just preoccupied, I'm guessing. Yeah, left side is just taken over in like 30 seconds. Pretty exciting. Let's just hide that panel. Let's see where these guys are going. Those are going left. These guys are going forward. Katyusha strikes. 2 of them coming in from me. Right on top of the tanks that I can basically spot. And with that, I'm moving up my T-34-85s together with my AA. And do I still have Su-85s or are those all dead? Looks like they're all dead. Look at that. Just got a swarm tactic, these dudes. So one is fallen back. One is heavily panicked. The other one is fallen back there. There's 2 fallen back. So we've basically already won this engagement. Like, we don't even care about getting shot in the side. Just gotta keep moving that front. Q move is your enemy. So Elmox is just moving his train of infantry, his mechanized troops, quickly to the flank of their new defensive position. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be moving my infantry straight in there, since these guys are preoccupied by my tanks. And I also have some fresh tanks moving up in the rear with some more supplies to take those Katyushas, to fill them up again. And also to give APCR rounds to the T-34-85s. Yeah, once you run out of those APCR shots, you're not gonna really do too much damage. 145 versus 180. Especially against these Panthers and Tigers, you need the 180. So what I'm doing here, you might think, what are you doing actually? I'm just giving these guys targets. That's what I'm doing. I'm just giving them something to fire at. And it doesn't end there, boys. This is quite possibly the biggest fight in Steel Division 2 that I've seen so far. It's probably not even an exaggeration. Man, everything is just going crazy. So with this, we have their second reinforcements line to the hill cut off, so they cannot do anything on this hill anymore. Yeah, at this point it's just a massacre. So this little forest actually enables me to quickly move up a lot of my infantry to the front line. In the meantime, we have some ME410s trying to take out some of my tanks. They actually do manage to kill one of them. We have a Yak 9 Normandy being very brave, 2 of them, 3 of these guys trying to secure that AA or air net. We do have some AA in the back, but it's quite a bit too far. I should have probably moved those ESUs and M17s up a little bit more. So 2 minute 45 left until the enemy is completely defeated. It says minor defeat, but honestly this is just a total defeat. No way this is a minor defeat. Guardia's moving in. Helljumper's units are just chilling over there. Yeah, these guys are gonna have a bad time. Should have attack moved them into the tanks, or at least engaged the tanks specifically to take them down with those grenades. I think I just stopped caring about them or something. Yeah, but this is just amazing. Amazingly well executed. T-3485s just in their spawn at this point. Like, what is that about? Yep, there goes that. So this was just more of a joke, really. I just said, move in. just go. Overwhelm them. We didn't really care at this point about losses. This was more about just pushing that line forward. There's no retreat in the Soviet doctrine. Everything here is pinned. And this one supply truck is probably going to make these guys surrender. Meanwhile, on the right side, nice and calm. Some more infantry coming up. I just decided to fall back with these guys. That was getting a little bit too pushy. Fresh Katusha strike right after I kind of got out of there. A little bit short from actually where the tanks are, but good enough to stun them and make them fall back as well. And this way I can save those families from that horrible letter that they might receive. But yeah, that was it. Wasn't that exciting? That was great. I mean, look at that. We went so negative, but that is how you should be going in this game. Honestly. They went all positive, but they couldn't build up on that. So kills, yeah. I mean, a little bit of everything, really. Losses, all of the tanks ever. All of the, just the infantry as well. We actually lost the 2 Katyushas due to the mortars. That was kind of sad. But yeah, that was it, guys. I do hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please do let me know down in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys back in the next one. So take care.